Mwah. Mwah. Party time! And with quite good reason to celebrate as well. Today, there was actually some good news that came out of the UK's government. So over the past couple of months, the UK government have been considering this idea of having a minimum price per unit on alcohol drinks. Now, the idea is completely ridiculous, and I have never agreed with it in the first place, so let me explain to you what it means. This bottle of vodka here, I'm going to read you what is on the label, right? So, we have a litre of vodka, well, kind of half now. So it's a litre, 37.5%, and this is 37.5 units of alcohol in this bottle, okay? The government's idea was to put a tax on it. So basically, well, it would be a tax. Basically, a unit of alcohol would cost, for example, £1. So that would mean the minimum that I could get this bottle for, like anywhere, would be £37.50. That's if it was a pound. I think originally the idea was meant to be 50p or something like that. But you get where I'm coming from with this. Why did the government consider it, though, I hear you asking? Well, the theory behind it was kind of built on these false statistics that apparently exist, but you actually can't get your hands on them unless you're in the government and you're one of the advisors. These statistics currently claim that the more of this that people drink, the more aggressive they become, the more violent they become, meaning that it kind of puts a strain on emergency services. So the police are required a lot more because there's a lot more violence, meaning of a weekend, hospital and accident and emergency and walk-in centres and that sort of thing, they get overloaded with people because of drunken related injuries and that sort of thing. So to kind of try and save on that, the idea was the more you have to pay for this, the less you're going to drink. If you are going to say to me, we still need a way of reducing drunken crime, and we still need a way to kind of like stop people from injuring themselves because they've drunk too much, I completely agree with you on that. It is unacceptable, the fact that these days of a weekend, we have to put all the nurses available on shift because there are that many people coming through the doors of accident and emergency. That really has got to stop. The minimum price per unit wouldn't have done that. The way that we should do this is we should educate about alcohol. And the way that we do this is we get them in high school. The idea behind it is basically, from what I can tell, it's kind of guaranteeing a certain level of income for the government on every drink that's sold. When I'm out doing live shows and working in these social clubs and that sort of thing, basically what you'll find is that these places at the moment are struggling to make ends meet anyway. I mean, there is a lot of competition stacked up against them at the moment. I mean, you've got the smoking ban, which is, people can't smoke indoors. And a lot of people would say that has had an effect on business. And to a certain degree, yes, it has, because it's put people off going, especially in winter times. Because I know I've done it as a smoker and I've gone, well, why would I want to go and sit in a room and, drink in there, but then I'm not allowed to take my drink outside, but I have to go outside to smoke. Basically meaning I have to leave my drink unattended, so if anyone wants to slip anything into my drink, they can do it there while I'm not there. So what has been the government's reaction to this? Well, of course, it was the coalition government that have actually said, this isn't going to go any further. So that's the Liberal Democrats and the Conservative Party. I'm more than happy with that decision. They were considering it, they were talking about it, and they said, we're not going to go any further with this. That's fair enough. That's good enough news for me. The Labour Party have been the one to criticise this. And this is where I kind of slip up with the Labour Party, because I call bullshit on them, right? The Labour Party themselves have kind of gotten into this whole state of whatever the government does, Labour disagree with it. And it doesn't matter what the government do, Labour are going to disagree with it. I think we can just take that as a given for the moment. So if this law would have come in and, we would have had to have paid this minimum price per unit on drink, then Labour would have gone, well, they're targeting the poor and, they're making the cost of living more expensive for people and, this is not acceptable, but it's typical of this government. Today, the government said, we're not going to go any further with this. Labour turned round and said, this is another U-turn for the government, and, they keep doing this with so many other things, and and it's just like, Labour, shh,